Hello, welcome to Locked on Sharks, the premier hockey podcast of your favorite tanking team in the Bay Area. And Erik Karlsson puts the finishing touches on his Norris campaign. The Sharks lose their seventh straight game, and we have some NCAA hockey to talk about. So all that and more on today's episode of Locked on Sharks.
You're Locked on Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I'm JD Young, contributor at San Jose Hockey Now. And I want to thank you guys for making Locked on Sharks your first listen. Subscribe or follow for free on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast to get the latest episode as soon as it's available. We cover your team every day, and your team continues to stink. 7 straight losses for the Sharks. Again, another overtime loss for them. Just absolute insanity in this game as you had 4 disallowed goals. Erik Karlsson continued to do Erik Karlsson things. James Reimer making the save of the year on Draisaitl. And just a whole slew of stuff. Plus, at the very end of the episode, we're going to talk about the NCAA men's hockey tournament, which Sharks prospects are in the tournament, who you can follow, and a couple other guys just to keep an eye on as we roll around with draft season. So let's start with our beloved King Carl. 2 more goals tonight, Should have had 2 more points on top of that. It was denied another 4-point night as 2 of those points were disallowed. Had a beautiful feed to Noah Gregor, gone. Another assist gone. Just absolute travesty. But no, all the calls were correct. Like, if you look, they were all correct. The Oilers guy who does their video for them, that man deserves a raise. Saved the Oilers. I don't want to say saved the Oilers season tonight, but kept the Oilers from losing what would have been a very bad game for them. If all those goals had counted, this game would have been 7. The Sharks would have had 7 on Campbell. Side note, Campbell, not a great night for him. I know they're trying to rebuild his confidence, playing against the nice soft Sharks, but I don't think that worked out for him or for the Oilers tonight. They still got the win, but you have to, if you're an Oilers fan, you have to be worried about if Campbell has to start any games at all, important games at all down the stretch or in the playoffs. You have to be worried about that. So, but King Carl, up to 22 goals this season, career high. I don't know if he's going to get to his 100 points. It's a lot, especially now with 12 games left, 11 games left now. That's might be a little bit much for Karlsson to reach that, but we saw it tonight in a game where Connor McDavid was on the ice. Karlsson continued to do Erik Karlsson things and has been the Sharks' best player. And I think tonight, he puts the finishing touches on a Norris campaign. If he gets anywhere close to 100, if he ends the season with 25 goals and close to 100 points, I don't know how you can't give it to Erik Karlsson. What he's doing on this team, dragging this team to being anywhere near relevant. This team without Erik Karlsson would be around 40 points this year. They would be one of the worst teams in NHL history if it wasn't for Erik Karlsson. And it's gonna be really sad when he gets traded this offseason. But I don't know how you can't say Erik Karlsson is the best defenseman in the NHL. If your job is to keep the other team from scoring goals, what better way to do that than by continually scoring goals and keeping the puck in your own zone and providing a bunch of offense? Shutdown defensemen are cool and all, but you can only ask a shutdown defenseman to be a shutdown defenseman for so long if they're going to give up goals at some point. If you let your defenseman create offense, makes your life easier for your goalie, all that fun stuff. Makes just, again, Erik Karlsson's awesome. Enjoy the last little bit that we have of Erik Karlsson before he's probably traded this offseason. So it'll be really sad. But yeah, give him the trophy. What a week that'd be. Connor Bedard to the Sharks and Erik Karlsson winning the Norris in the same week. That would be something special. And then him traded at the draft. But anyway, we got plenty of time to talk about that. So, yeah, Erik Karlsson was amazing tonight. Should have had 4 points, but who cares? And then, yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, the 4 disallowed goals, pretty insane. I've never seen anything like that. I think the Devils had 3 in a game earlier this year against the Maple Leafs, but 1 for Edmonton and 3 for the Sharks. But again, like I said, the goalie interference ones, maybe the Couture one, you could maybe argue that Campbell started to make interference, but at the same time, like, spin the wheel of goalie interference and you never know what you're going to get. So the Hyman one was definitely goalie interference on James Reimer. And then all the other ones, they were clearly offsides. No McGregor, go Burr for a reason. And as you know, Erik Karlsson a couple years ago might have been okay to keep up with Gregor there, but Noah Gregor's really fast, so that's what he does. But insane game. We'll dig into the numbers. We'll dig into the lines. Look at the new look lines here. Talk about, and then with Andreas Johnson potentially being out, if the Sharks gonna call somebody else up here soon. Maybe Noah Gadovich is starting to work his way back in. I know he's with the team right now, but still not contact practicing. And at the very end, like I said, we're going to look at all the Sharks prospects in the NCAA men's hockey tournament, and which ones, a couple guys that you need to keep an eye on as draft season starts to get here a little bit closer. But before we get into all of that, do want to let you guys know about our friends over at FanDuel. We are in tournament season right now. I know your bracket's probably already busted, but it's still the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because new customers get a no sweat first bet up to $1,000 as bonus bets back. If your first bet doesn't win, just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. It's safe, secure, and super easy to use. You can bet on everything from the money line to point scores to threes drained. Plus, FanDuel even lets you combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with a same-game parlay. So don't miss a chance to get your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 in bonus bets when you go to FanDuel.com/lockedon. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon to learn more. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. All right. Yeah, this game was insane. So much just chaos in this game. Okay, 5-on-5. Oilers kind of took it to the Sharks here, especially a little bit of a slow start for the Oilers. Kind of felt like they were sleepwalking, and then they kicked it into gear in the second period. But the Sharks were still winning. That's goaltending right there. 57 shot attempts for the 35 in favor of the Oilers. 54 to 45% actual shot attempts. His numbers are 32 and 27. Scoring chances 31 to 22 in favor of the Oilers. Again, all 5-on-5. 17 to 10 high danger chances. Expected goals for 3.28 to 2.03. That second period, like I said, the Oilers took it to the Sharks. They had 30. This was all 5-on-5, all 20 minutes. 30 shot attempts compared to the Sharks' 10. Actual shots were 17 to 8. 15 to 8 in scoring chances, 9 to 4 in high danger chances. Yet the Sharks led 4 to 3 after the second period. Jack Campbell, guys, not very good. That's a new look lines, of course, especially with William Eklund sent down. So, and then Andreas Johnson did leave the game. Also, he he blocked a shot, which kind of sprung the Erik Karlsson goal. If you didn't see the Erik Karlsson goal, sorry, go watch that. The absolute insane, just the gravity. I don't know, like just the cojones on Erik Karlsson to try to the deke that he had. Go watch Erik Karlsson's first goal of the night. Just absolutely takes Jack Campbell's jockstrap and just hangs him out to dry. Jack Campbell has no chance on that. Go watch Erik Karlsson do Erik Karlsson things. He's amazing. Anyway, Barabanov, Hurdle, Kaut, they played 14:42 time on ice at 5-on-5. So they were the first line. And then you had Andreas Johnson, Logan Couture, Kevin LeBanc, and then things got a little mixed up after that. But Zetterlund, Sturm, Gregor, and then Lindblom, Lawrence, Agazzino. Agazzino, I liked his game tonight. He, didn't get to play as much. Again, the lines were all screwy tonight, but I think he deserved his opportunity to play up with the Sharks, especially with the season he's had with the Barracuda. Great that Matt Benning doing his best Erik Karlsson pass to start that, and Agazzino the nice little touch pass to get Steven Lawrence going on that breakaway goal. Lawrence, man, he's really worked out for the Sharks here. He's going to be their fourth line center for the next few years. He's been a great find for the Sharks. Does exactly what you need. You see him as the PK. Got some hands on him. Can add some scoring touch. Not a bad little piece that the Sharks got back for Brent Burns. So not Brent Burns, but not a bad piece. Anyway. Barabanov, Hurdle, Martin Kaut, 14:42, 10 shot attempts for, gave up 15. Again, the Sharks got absolutely dominated in the shots this game, right? Total, the Oilers had 50. I guess they had 52. I guess they gave them 51 now. So they had over 50 shots in this game. Absolutely dominated. And it's Connor McDavid. Actual shots, 9-11. 2 goals for, 2 allowed. 0.61 expected goals for, 1.06 expected goals allowed, 7-13 in the scoring chances, 2-9 in the high danger chances. So they hung in there against 2, 6, and 7 for zone starts. They hung in there, mostly playing against Connor McDavid. He's pretty good. I would like a Connor McDavid type player on my team. So the rest of the guys. So Andreas Johnson, Logan Couture, Kevin LeBanc, 846, 5-9 shot attempts, 4-4 actual shots. Did give up a goal, 0.1 expected goals for, 0.58. So kind of a tough night. Whatever line Barabanov is on, that line tends to do really well. So it'll be interesting to see what Quinn does with Barabanov, if he keeps him with Hurdle for rest of the season, or if he puts him back with Couture for a little bit, especially if Andreas Johnson's out for any amount of time here. Looked like he hurt himself pretty bad on that block shot. So next among the kind of lines before it got all scrambled, Fabian Zetterlund, Nico Sturm, Noah Gregor, 6-19 time on ice, 2 shot attempts for, 9 allowed, 2-5 shots. Did give up a goal. Yeah. Ugh. 2, 4, and 5. So a lot of defense. Again, the Sharks had a lot of defensive zone starts in this game. And then Lindblom, Lawrence, Andrew Agazzino, 437, 3 shot attempts for, 6 allowed. Actual shots was 3-3. Did have that very nice Steven Lawrence goal. 2-1 scoring chances, 2-0 high danger chances. And then 1, 2, and 2 for the zone starts. Yeah, I mean, you're at shuffling chairs on the Titanic when it comes to the line. So we'll see what happens with Agazzino. Like I said, Gaudovich, he's traveling with the team. I don't know if he's ready for contact yet. Sharks don't play again until Thursday against the Canucks, so it gives a little bit of time. They don't have to make any decisions right away. And I would assume, my guess would be Jeffrey Viel. I think he's kind of the next guy up who's kind of earned his spot. So we'll see maybe if he plays Tuesday night because the Barracuda play Tuesday, Wednesday. So if he plays Tuesday night and then maybe he's not playing on Wednesday because he gets called up, that would make the most sense to me. But we'll see. It gives Gadovich some time, see if Agazino, how he's doing. So they have a little bit of time. They don't need to kind of rush anything right now. So those would be my guesses. We'll see. And then James Reimer, we'll talk about his night on the ice. With James Reimer, I'm just going to talk about his night on the his hockey. So he had a very, very busy night, of course. 52 shots against 47 saves, 5 goals, 5.7 expected goals, 904 save percentage tonight. 21 high danger shots. That's insane. 18 high danger saves, 14 mid danger shots, 13 mid danger saves, 15 low danger, and 14 low danger saves. That Draisaitl one, you saw Draisaitl at the very end of the third period, right? When the Oilers were on the power play, it looked like they were going to take the lead. You know, they just tied it up. Mario Ferraro goes to the box for delay over glass. Draisaitl has an open net, and Reimer makes a spectacular save in that situation. So Reimer battled tonight. You know, I think he looked a little scrambly at some times, but I think he battled tonight against a insane offensive team that the Edmonton Oilers are. Again, 21 high danger shots against is absolutely insane in all situations. You know, like the Oilers, especially if you look at in overtime, right? In overtime, Oilers were on the power play like 19 seconds, but the Oilers had 10 scoring chances in overtime compared to the Sharks 5, 4 of which were high danger. But James Reimer is very, very busy tonight. So another loss in the books per Tankathon right now. So the Sharks are now 4 points behind Columbus. Right now, they're 1 point ahead of Chicago, and then 3 points clear of the Ducks. Remaining strength of schedule. Columbus has got some tough games still. I know they play the Habs coming up this weekend. That's a big one. They play the Flyers, so there's a chance right there. You know, they've got a couple spots here. We're gonna need the Columbus to kind of get a little luck here. So Sharks, they basically the only bottom teams they have left are Vancouver on Thursday, and they play the Yotes I think around beginning of April. Then they play Calgary and Calgary and Winnipeg are both fighting for playoff spots, and they have 4 games against those 2 teams. Anaheim, they play the Yotes, kind of their easy games. They play the Yotes, they play the Canucks, they play the Blues, and then they got a couple against Calgary and one against Winnipeg as well. So those are kind of and then Chicago. Chicago's got some easy games here, so hopefully they can kind of build a little bit of that lead here. So Philly, 2 against Canucks, 1 against Seattle, or going against St. Louis, 1 against Washington. Pittsburgh and Calgary, who you never know with those teams. Any given night, those teams could lay an egg. So, gonna need the Sharks to continue to do what they're doing right now, and that is lose a bunch of games. So, stop getting the loser points. Before we look at the NCAA men's tournament, look at the Sharks prospects who are going to be playing, kind of how their seasons have looked so far this year, and kind of their schedule going forward here, and then a couple guys to keep an eye on. As the draft, we start getting closer and closer to the draft. Before we get there, though, do want to let you guys know about our friends over at Built Bar. If you're looking for a delicious treat, but you don't want all the fat and calories, then you have to try Built Bar. You know what makes them so great? It's because they're covered in 100% real chocolate. That's right, real chocolate. They have amazing flavors like churro, peanut butter brownie, coconut almond, and each bar only has about 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, and a whopping 17 grams of protein. And if you're like me and you hate waiting for things to come in the mail, now you can go over to your local Walmart or Sam's Club and grab a box today. At Walmart in the pharmacy section, they have a 4-bar box of cookies and cream, double chocolate or coconut puffs, or If you have a Sam's Club, go and grab a 13-bar box of their hit flavors, brownie batter, and churro. You'll thank me later. Or if you don't like to leave your house, check out built.com. They have a whole variety of flavors. I do actually like the variety pack because it comes a little bit of everything. So if one day you are feeling a little bit more cookies and cream, one day you're feeling more brownie batter, whatever, or you don't know which one is your favorite, it's a great way to try them all and figure it out. So go check out Built Bar at Walmart, Sam's Club, or built.com today. All right, let us talk NCAA hockey. So that starts this week. Actually, before we get into that, let's go over the schedule here really quick. So we'll go over the Sharks players. So the Sharks do have a few players. So Colgate, one Alex Young. They play Michigan on the 24th, which I believe is, what is that? I'm trying to do math. That's Friday. I'm trying to look at a calendar at the same time. Yeah, that is Friday. Sorry. So Alex Young, my cousin, I'm kidding, who's had a really great year. He's kind of been the driver of that team. They're going to, so big task though against Michigan on the 24th. Other Sharks prospects, new Sharks prospect Henry Thrun also playing on the 24th against Ohio State. That one's at 11 a.m. The Michigan game's at 5:30 p.m. So if you want to try to kind of schedule your meetings on Friday, you want to catch some of the Sharks games. I think most of these games are going to be on ESPN or some ESPN affiliate. So Harvard, they're kind of I think from what I've heard, they're a bit of a dark horse team. They've play hard. And then Henry Thrun, the captain of that team, defensive defenseman. So they're going to, kind of keep things a little bit more tight knit and try to squeak out some wins that way as they play Ohio State. And then Denver, the reigning champions, of course, Magnus Corona, they start on Thursday at 2:30. Denver plays Cornell. They have kind of a slow start to the season, but the end of the season really, really turned things around. And then Magnus Corona has been kind of on fire to end the season. So increasing the save percentage, a bunch of stuff. I know they had a bit of a slip up here in their tournaments and stuff, but still they're the 4th 1 seed right now. So those are all these Sharks prospects. So let's dig into, so that's the schedule right now. So like I said, Thrun this year, so he ended his regular season with 32 games, 7 goals, 24 assists, 98 shots on goal. Again, was the 2019 4th round pick from Anaheim. I think as soon as his season's done, the Sharks are going to sign him and he will be playing. So he could be playing for the Sharks or for the Barracuda as early as kind of like mid next week type of thing, especially if they get knocked out in the first round. Wouldn't be surprised if he signed this weekend and then he's in San Jose the following week type of thing. So he will be in San Jose soon. Again, I don't think you trade a 3rd round pick for a guy. And yeah, he's going to sign his ELC. They'll burn a year off his ELC as kind of enticement to get him to come to San Jose. It's kind of part of the business of it, right? Same thing we saw with Bordelot, getting him to leave school a little early to come play. So I expect Henry Thrun to be in San Jose basically as soon as his season's over. So next, Magnus Corona, like I said, really kind of locked things down as the season. Last time we did this, kind of admitted his save percentage was at 911. It got up to 915. The end of the season was 4 shutouts, 31 games, 219 goals against average. His numbers are actually better this year than they were last year, which is pretty impressive to space, especially since he's literally won the whole thing last year. But so again, like I said, his numbers, I'm pulling them up right now. Last year in 37 games, so goals against 211, so about the same in 911 save percentage in 37 games, 28 8-1. So again, his team won the whole tournament last year. So, but really, really locked things down as the season went along. So I think Denver is going to be as good as Magnus Corona lets them be. So interesting to see what he does, because if the Sharks don't sign him, by the end of this, I think it's August 15th, if they don't sign him by then, they lose his rights and he becomes a free agent. I like Corona a lot. I know the Sharks goalie situation is a little bit nebulous going into next year, especially with the Barracuda and stuff. But I think Magnus Corona has really kind of proven himself, and I would sign him. I think give him a shot. You never know with these goalies, right? And he's proven himself on some of the biggest stages in college. I would sign him, Magnus Corona, and let him fight for a job. If you're having E2, Strauss, and Magnus Corona all fighting for a job, and you can always send one of them down to, if you're ECHL, I'm assuming it'll still be Wichita, but there's still things you can do. So I think he's worth taking a swing on. All right. My cousin, Alex Young, the 2020 7th round pick in Colgate. Great season this year. 39 games, 21 goals, 18 assists, 102 shots on goal. Again, he has been kind of the driving force for Colgate this year as they've, making the tournament here. He only has 3 years. So I think he can still go back for another season. I think he's only still considered a junior. Let me pull up Colgate's page right now. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with him. If they want him to go back for one more year, try to kind of continue, improve on that, or if they want to sign him for another season. Sign him again with college kids, right? As soon as you sign, pulling up Alex Young. He is a junior, so if he wants to go back for another season, it'll be interesting to see what Mike Grier wants to do with Alex Young. Let him come, sign his ELC and come play with the Sharks / Barracuda this year. Add some more scoring punch to the Barracuda, who could use it right now, especially as they're kind of getting guys picked away. Or if you want to let him go back and let him have another season and go dominate with Colgate, but you don't know if Colgate will be as good. This might be one of their kind of leading up to this moment type of points. So we shall see. All right, couple guys to keep an eye on. One, Adam Fantilli. You may have heard of him. He's really good. If you haven't checked out my Adam Fantilli, I did with Hattie actually it's been on probably about 2 months by now. You can go check out if you want to learn more about him. But he ended his regular season in 33 games, so 27 goals, 34 assists, 129 shots on goal. He will be the second pick in the draft, and if the draft lottery, the balls go as they are right now, he will be a San Jose Shark come the end of June. He'll be interesting to see what he does if he has a huge tournament here and kind of puts a nice cap on his season. If a team will want him to come play next year, or if they wanted him to spend another season in Michigan, we shall see. We'll see, especially with Mike Grier, right, where he can. And the nice thing is you can sign him and you can let him play in the AHL if you want, or you can let him play in the NHL either. So it's not like the Canada, like the CHL rules, right? Kind of gives you some flexibility. But again, when a college kid, once they sign that contract, they cannot go back to college. So it'll be interesting to see what the Sharks do with him. And we have plenty of time to talk about that. But like I said, if you haven't had a chance to watch Fantilli, this is a great time this weekend to get a chance to watch him. So I will definitely be watching all the Michigan games because, again, Fantilli is a great time to get a chance to watch Fantilli. And another guy to watch here who's kind of been rising up the draft boards. One, Gavin Brindley. So I'll give you a little background on him. Gavin Brindley, 18-year-old from Florida, which is fun. 5'9", 157-pound right winger. He has been climbing up the boards here. Kind of right now, it's kind of projected as a end of the second round, early first round type of guy. A little bit small, 5'9", like I said, but his numbers, you have to be impressed. 38 games played this year, 11 goals, 25 assists, 36 points in his first year with Michigan. Just for perspective, one Thomas Bordelot. So in his freshman season with Michigan, I'm pulling it up right now. He had in 24 games, he had 8 goals, 22 assists, and 30 points in 24 games. So very comparable, a little bit more goals for Brindley compared to Bordelot. But just someone to keep an eye on. We know Mike Grier loves him, some college kids. So if Brindley's there late first, early second, might be someone that the Sharks are interested in. Just want to put him on the radar there. If you want some other guys to watch this weekend who are going to be in the draft, here's 2 guys here that might be Sharks come end of June. So that's going to do it for me tonight. We'll be back tomorrow with our Bald King, Tony Ferrari. So he joins for a prospect. We talk about Dvorsky. So really fun conversation with him. As always, hail to our Bald King. Thank you guys for making Locked On Sharks your first listen. You can subscribe or follow for free on YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts, to get the latest episode as soon as it's available. Again, we cover your team every day. And draft season's coming. You guys know how we do the draft here at Locked On Sharks. So plenty of fun content. After Thursday's episode, probably going to look into a little bit of roster construction, see what the future kind of holds for the Sharks, potential holes for next year, what work Mike Grier has to do, kind of just start looking at what work Mike Grier has to do for the offseason. So make sure you guys are following along. You follow me on Twitter at MyFryHole. Follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Locked On Sharks. You can listen, again, wherever you get podcasts, watch on YouTube. And be back tomorrow. Until then, bye, friends.